Good morning and hello and welcome to Success Training with Kathy Alldredge. I'm your Diamond Leader and I'm really excited. Today's topic is about launching builders. And I know so many times when people are building this as a business, they come to me and they say, you know, how do I launch someone simply and authentically? And I think something that's really, really important is when we sit down and do what I call, so this is what we're talking about here today is when we have gone past the, okay, I'm curious about sharing and what does it look like to build, and we actually are sitting down with them and doing what I call a launch strategy. Now we have many tools from doTERRA and we will utilize and reference those tools, but I wanted to show you something a little bit unique that resonates with me. Remember, those of you who know me and who have had a chance to mentor with me directly, it's very important to me that people build their authentic business, that people build their business in their top talents and in their strengths, because years and years ago, dinosaur age, when I was coming out of college, I read across a book and I need to purchase it again just because I need to have it in my arsenal. I'm a book kind of a person, okay? And this book was called What Color is Your Parachute? And in that book, there was a phrase that said, find something you love to do, and then find someone to pay you to do it, and you'll never work a day in your life, right? And that's how, if we approach our doTERRA businesses like that, then literally, and it gives me chills to even say this, we can be resonating at such a high frequency that people will literally be attracted to us. People will show up at our door when we are in our authentic self, when we are practicing the talents that God has given us. Many of you are familiar with the parable of the talents, meaning the talents that were given in the scriptures to several people, and some of them threw them by the wayside, not understanding their values. And those who discover their talents, discover their strengths, and really start to put emphasis and feeding and nourishing and watering those plants within themselves are going to live their ideal lives. And so that's what I want you to feel with many of the topics that I'm going to be teaching you in the next few weeks, next few months. These are going to be recorded. If you're watching this recorded, that's okay too. These are ways that I have created my business. These are ways I have brought builders into my business. So we are going to go over a launch strategy, and I have chosen Miss Jamie Cutts because she sent me her top 5 strengths. And I started a little bit later because I got stuck in Jamie's strengths. I was giggly, right? I was giggly jumping into her strengths and really determining who she is and what makes her click, right? What makes her happy. So many times when people come to this type of business, when I say type in direct sales or multi-level marketing, they've had preconceived notions of things they've seen in the past, whether it's, makeup parties or houseware parties, right? And they feel like they have to enter into a certain mold. I even want to say historically, the briefcase carrying salesman going knocking door to door. And they feel this sense of betrayal, that they're going to need to betray their authentic self. And I want you to recognize that that's not. In fact, if you choose to do it like that, then you will not last in this business. Those who we need to help them see that they don't have to do that, okay? So let me go ahead and share some of the tools, and we're going to act as if I am mentoring a new builder. And James, if you want to come on and let me mentor you, you're welcome to. If you're doing work and just kind of watching this alongside too, that's okay. This is the launch strategy handout. This is downloadable, and I will put that link below this on our YouTube channel so that you can access this Heroes training. This is a document that was made years ago by Andrew Donovan, who is one of the co-creators of the Share Success system that is used in doTERRA today. What I love about this is he said when they handed the whole launch program over to doTERRA, he almost felt like a burden was lifted off of him because he felt like it wasn't duplicable. It was so big to launch in that way, and it was so generic that he felt like he needed to individualize a new system of some sort. So something that was a little bit simpler. So a lot of times I will take, you'll see this document here. I will refer to this document, which I call as the launch strategy document. And then I will show you this one as well. So these are the two documents that I will take with me to my training or my one-on-one coaching as I walk away. Sometimes I'm on a headset. I think you guys can still hear me. Okay, and or the launch. So this comes with me. Okay, and if you're using the Live Naturally system, that's a great one too. I take a blank one of this, okay, and then the time to rank document. Are you guys seeing that time to rank document? Okay, so this is the time to rank. So reason why is as you go through a build situation, you want to see you want them to see a motivating factor again, and that time to rank shows you the accurate amounts, the average income made at each one of those ranks. Within parentheses is the approximate income when the rank is first hit. This, let me explain this real quick because I won't come back to this. I love this worksheet because this has a leadership agreement on the bottom. You can have your person sign it. You can take a picture of it on your phone. You can create your own leadership agreement. I know Share Success has one in their library as well. This teaches you the success principles. Literally, if you did these things daily, you would make it to Presidential Diamond in a matter of time. Okay. In fact, Elise Shedevy, who in mentoring Kirsty Kirschbaum when she was silver, and I think she went from silver to blue diamond in a year. She said, what's the secret? How can I get to blue diamond? And she said, if you contact 2 new people a day and follow up with 2 people a day, every day, never missing a day, you will make it to blue diamond. And so the power of consistency, that leadership agreement has the personal development piece in it, has the 2 contacts, the 2 follow-ups. Respond to all business communication from mentor within 24 working hours. I recently brought on a builder who I thought was committed and capable. I was really excited. We've been down to corporate. We went through this process, this launch process. And at one of the first things you notice when people start to question or try to figure out if this is for them is that response time is increased to your communication. And when you start seeing that, you either need to get in your car, get over to their house and work through what are some of their objections, or decide if you want to let that person go. And I actually just decided to let that person go and realized that it's easier for me to birth a new builder than it is to pull a dead cadaver. Okay, but we're not getting into that today. We are launching into a new builder. Okay, back to the document that I want to share with you is our launch strategy. So you sit down with someone, I love to go to lunch, I love to go out to get, maybe Starbucks, depending on what time they have. You could do this with on virtual, like we're doing right here, Zoom. You can get a free Zoom account that allows you to do Zoom calls within 45 minutes, free. Okay, so you don't even have to pay for Zoom for that. I highly suggest if you're building a business that you do get a Zoom account, because that's going to allow you to have face-to-face time with those people who you're building a business with. Okay, so before we jump into this launch strategy, I want you, if you're watching this, to think, who are 2 to 3 people that I could practice this strategy on? Okay, those people could be people who you potentially want to build this with as a business. They could be family members. They could be best friends. Okay, one of the things that I remember once hearing, and from another doTERRA leader actually said, one of her friends in another MLM said, hey, can I practice introducing the business on you? I know you're in doTERRA and you're pretty knowledgeable at this process. Would you allow me to practice this on you? And she said, by the end of that presentation, she was like, oh my gosh, this is so fabulous. Maybe, and she was questioning, maybe she should be joining this. So recognize that even practicing this on someone who know, like, and love, and having no attachments to the outcome allows that person to objectively decide on their own if they want in. Okay, so we're going to sit down with them and say, okay, before we jump into this, so I know how best to help you. Okay, remember, this is all about them. It's all about you. I want you to let me know what is the monthly income that you would like to bring in for your business? Okay, so if this person has told you briefly before that they want to replace their income, and their income right now is about $9,000 a month, and they get health insurance and they get benefits and things as well, so that's concern. Or you can say, let's even just give, you know, a $5,000 a month. So something that you want to do is you want to reference that time to rank document here. So you are helping them map out, okay? So this is where they want to go. You know the end result. They want to get to $5,000. Now we get to map out the pathway and make it really simple and make it exciting for them. So we are going to show them, great, sounds like you want to make $5,000 a month. Let me show you a realistic expectation on the time that you're going to need to put into your business, and then also the time it's going to take you to make that $5,000 a month. So looking at this here, the average goal makes a little bit under $5,000 a month. So the first time you hit that, you'll probably make $3,500. And then as you fill in what we call your level, and more people start enrolling other people, and you help your builders build, then your income will increase. So if you can put 10 hours of weekly time into your business, it will take you about 30 months, okay? If you can put 15 hours a week into your business, it'll take you about 2 years, okay? And if you can put 25 hours into your business and really go full out, it will take you a little bit over a year, okay? And this is residual income. This is replacing your income. And I think it's really hard for people to understand that they would be able to make this kind of money, not trading the kind of hours for dollars that they do. So keep in mind right now they're making $5,000 a month, probably in their business, and they're working 40 hours a week, okay? So 40 hours a week, and if they don't work some of those 40 hours a week, then they're not making that money. So it's really hard when people start thinking about doing this as a business that they can't separate the hours for dollar aspect. So when they first start doing this as a business, they realize they're only putting 10 hours a week. Yeah, you're only making like $5 to $10 an hour until you build your business up. And so it's really important you help them see that as well. Okay, so any questions so far? You're welcome to use the group chat function, or you can jump on. Look, yay, I've got Jamie on there now. Cool. So I am going to go this back to gallery view and hide there. Perfect. Okay, so we are recording. Thanks, Jamie. You're like, yeah, for real. Oh my gosh. You just didn't tell me that I was like, you know, had to do my hair or something. You're awesome. Thank you for joining. So, Jamie, I'm really excited that you put your strengths on here. And have you ever seen this particular worksheet from Andrew? And have you used this in launching someone before?
I've only seen the rank to guide, or the amount they make. So the one you're just showing. But I've never seen this launch strategy worksheet ever. I'm super excited.
Okay, good. I'm excited that allows me to kind of almost a little bit of a surprise element with you. Okay, so I want you to role play with me a little bit as if we were going to be launching your business, and that's something I kind of want to put up on the shelf for everyone to think about. Is what would it look like if you were to relaunch your business right now for yourself? Of course, I'm going to be teaching you the strategy to bring other people into your business. But I want you to think about doing this kind of process, even with some self-discovery with yourself, and really recognize and say, am I doing the correct actions that my personality and my talents and my strengths, am I doing the right actions to build my best business? And if not, can I change things? Can I change things up, and what would that look like, and how would that feel? Okay. So let's jump backwards, and you can pretend like you're brand new if you want, Jane. We talked about monthly income being around $5,000, that you wanted to be a gold, okay? And at this point, you want to get them to say by when. You have to write these things down, by the way, on this paper. And this paper is going with them. You can take a picture of it on your phone with a document scanner function and keep this on file for this person. But you want them to take this home so that you guys can refer to this often. Because If a goal is not written down, it's just a dream. And so we want to say, okay, that let's say, for instance, and I'm not going to speak for you, Jamie, knowing that time to rank, how much time are you willing to put into your business each week? And that might help us know the timeline for you reaching gold.
Okay, so I put in 10 hours a week.
Okay, awesome. Okay, and can I give you a compliment so far? Because 10 hours a week, when you think about it, if you divide that up into 3 days, that's like 3 hours 3 times a week. Okay, and I'm going to show you, based upon your strength and talents, what you're going to be doing during that time. Are you excited about that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, something else that I want to ask you, aside from money, okay, so we're still in this first box area. Aside from money, what else is bringing you? This is where you kind of get to dig into their why a little bit. What else do you see doTERRA providing for you and your family?
Oh, well, the opportunity to change people's lives and giving people tools so that they are empowered to do it for themselves and not reliant upon other people always telling them what to do, so they can have that freedom of learning what to do and having that education. I just think that's really important, and that we've kind of lost that in this day and age. So I want to be able to teach as many people as I can so that they don't feel stuck or burdened, but they feel empowered and uplifted and able to go to the right resources for help.
And honestly, I would write notes on their paper about what you just said, right? Because one of my favorite mentors, or she's just darling, Peggy Smith, those of you who have had a chance to meet her, when she does mentor session and goal setting sessions with her team, she loves to write down their goals, and then she likes to present them back to that builder if they're not doing the work, okay? And the way she does it is, I know you really wanted to reach gold by the end of next year. Have your goals changed? Right? And just asking that simple question, have your goals changed? And if they have, why did you not tell me? Right? How can I mentor you? How can I hold your hand? How can I help you accountable within this part? Okay. Now, what's really cool, look how simple it is explaining the launch goal. Great. The very first thing we do is in the first month, we're going to help you build to a launch goal of Elite, which is $3,000 in volume. Really simple. It was about 15 enrollments. We're going to show you how easy it is to get those enrollments and how to connect with those people the way that you want to connect. And roughly, we just kind of put around 200 PV, which PV amount is dollar amount each. And then that will get you to Elite within the first month. So we get to decide, since, it is the last day of August, or 2 days before the end of August, are you ready to launch in September, right? Or do we want to prep things and have you launch in October, okay? People will always say October, okay? Whether it's October, November, right? So I'm going to restate that. I'm going to show you how I just caught myself, okay? I'm going to say, oh my gosh, this is the perfect time to launch, okay? I don't care if it's the middle of the month, if it's the first of the month, it's the end of the month. It is the freaking perfect time to launch, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. So it is the perfect time to launch your business, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so you'll go into that, and then you can kind of tell them why based upon the time, how you're going to sample, and so forth. And that's something that you go into them, of course, after this meeting. Now we go back over to the weekly time investment. So Jamie has just said that she would like to invest about 10 hours a week. Okay, so is that a target goal for you, or is that like minimum for you?
It's a target right now.
Okay, so that's a target goal right now is 10. So what are you going to be happy with, like as a minimum? Like you're like, hey, if I get 6 in, that's amazing. Okay.
8.
Okay, awesome. And then if as an overachiever, meaning, like let's say there's weeks that you can do a little bit more. What do you think an overachieving week looks like for you?
15.
Okay. Why this is so important is success is planned out. And I'm going to help you as your mentor and coach to help you make sure that you're doing the right actions during the week and you're not going to get lost in what I call doTERRA YouTube land and learning about how myrrh is the connecting oil to Mother Earth. I mean, all that stuff is really, really important, but you can get lost in the information. So in order to help you reach your financial goals, I'm going to help you make sure, and we're going to look at your calendar together and map out the certain things that you need to get done each week and then let the rest go. How would you like that?
Love it.
Okay. So now this is the part where we get to go over your strengths and your passions. And something that I do, you know, prior to scheduling a launch is I really want to make sure that the people who I've connected with are invested in building a business. And money, of course, is involved when you're building a business. And so I want to thank you for purchasing the Strengths Finder assessment book that you did and taking the test prior to us doing this launch strategy. Okay, did you see that? Like, that's a prerequisite for this particular launch. You kind of want to say, and it's this goes back to the committed and capable pieces that we teach all the time. Remember how Teresa Harding, those of you who were able to watch her latest placement, said, how do you know if someone is committed? You ask them to do something, right, with a timeline. And if they do it, then they're committed, okay? So if I had asked you, if Jamie, because you were curious about doing this as a business, say, great, what are the first steps I need you to do is to go and purchase this Strengths Finder book. Here's the link. I want you to do the assessment before we meet next Tuesday and text me the 5 strengths that you've completed them, right? If someone says, no, I can't afford it, I'm not interested in that, what kind of red flags is that showing you, and what should you consider? You have any insight, Jamie?
Oh, well, they're probably not ready to build yet. That maybe hosting a class here or there to get their feet wet might be better.
Can't we sometimes scare people away?
Yeah.
Like, this person's not even willing to invest $20 into discovering their strengths. Are they treating this like a business right now?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they don't have that business mindset. I like what you said is, maybe I need to go back to the share guide with this person and get them to enroll 1 or 2 people, get them to share oils, let them have, you know, fun before we kind of jump into this piece. Okay. So thank you. You purchased the Strength Finder and you sent me your strengths. And I have to tell you, okay, I was a little bit late in starting this webinar because I was stuck and I was so excited because you have amazing strengths that will help you so much in your doTERRA business. And I want to go through those with you, okay? So you write down their strengths on that piece of paper. You can look on their phone, or if they know them by heart. Even now, I forget some of mine all the time. And you'll be able to look to see how you can share this authentically. Before we jump into those strengths, before I dive into you a little bit, I want to ask you, Jamie, what are some of your passions? Meaning, if you had the whole day to yourself, right? And maybe even had an open pocketbook, and you had sat down to dinner with one of your friends and she asked you about what could you literally talk through the whole dinner and forget that you were even supposed to eat food?
Running.
Okay.
And I love to try new foods, so experiencing different cultural foods. Traveling is something that I am passionate about. Being in the outdoors, so just any type of outdoor type of adventure. And I'm really passionate about my religion as well. So those are things that I talk about.
You could talk about. And again, I say, you know you're passionate about something when you start talking really fast, which is usually me all the time when I'm talking and coaching you all. And you literally like forget that you were supposed to be eating or drinking, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is really exciting, and I'm going to this is where in this launch piece, you actually spend the most time. And I want to show you why. You want these people to feel that they are the best fit as a leader. And then you want to show them why and then how, okay? And you can do this all in this number 3 square. So I usually just flip over the paper, okay? And I'll even do this beforehand. If I can, if not, I'm literally taking my book with me and I'm doing it with them. Okay. So I'm like, oh my gosh, let's look up your top strength. Woo. Oh, and if it's one of mine, I always let them know, because people like to know that they're the same as someone else. So you're like, oh, 2 of my leaders have woo in it. Oh my gosh, that's so cool that I attract people that have woo. Okay, again, just circle it back to them, not you. Okay, and then you tell them, if they haven't had a chance to sit down and read it, you know what is so amazing about your strengths is you're the perfect storm. Okay, woo is someone who's a woo is winning others over. Okay, enjoys the challenge of meeting new people and getting them to like you. Right, meeting strangers is energizing and you're drawn to them. You have this natural curiosity to discover, interesting things about strangers, and there are no strangers to you. They're just friends you haven't met yet. Would you agree? That's you?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, so guess how this talent is going to help you in your doTERRA business. You are going to be comfortable hanging out in watering holes of people who love to run, who love to be outside, who love to travel, that you haven't met yet. Right? So we're together going to come up in the next few steps of ways that you can hang out and learn to know more people in those things you're passionate about. Would that be exciting to you?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now the second one I want to talk to you about is communication. Your strength, communication. That is someone who is comfortable hosting, speaking in public, and actually learning to write. Someone with a talent like you have. Events can be static, and you kind of like to go in and be like the special sauce, right? You like to go in there and make things fun and kind of bring your little twist to it. And something that I know personally, because I've seen you in action, Jamie, is you like to sharpen up your presentations so they are super effective. And I've seen you in your introductory class. It's been a few years, but even then, back then, I saw how you really sharpened that, and that will draw people in because they are going to be attracted to your passion in that presentation. Now, your positivity is your third one. You're generous with praise. This is a tool and a talent that is going to allow you to become a leader very quickly in your doTERRA business. Okay, because not only are you able to win others over, you're going to be able to effectively communicate with them. You are someone people want to hang out with because you have this light that is an overabundance of light that generally is just easy to be shared with, and you lighten their spirits. And you're a light giver. You learn how to serve them through your positivity. And something that I want you to remember with this strength is that humans crave praise more than food. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So sometimes you might feel like you might be overdoing it because you have what you call the ceiling and a basement of your strength. Okay, and so sometimes when we are in our strength too much, we think we might be doing too much. Okay, because I'll tell you why. Somewhere along the way, someone took your strength and hit you with it. And they didn't know they were doing it, but we allowed them to do it, and we accepted it as true. Let me give you an example. My top strength is significance, meaning I want to leave a mark on this earth, and I want to attract others who also have that same desire to make a change. Someone who is significant has a very outgoing, sometimes loud personality, right? So what do you think has happened to me in my life quite a bit through my childhood?
People have told you to silence that.
Right. And I allowed them to do so and internalized it as I am too much for people. So why I brought up that negative aspect is I'm going to ask you in the next few weeks to create what I call a vision of who you are and allow yourself to become more comfortable or comfortable again with your strengths and talents. And I want you, if you're if you're a religious person, which you did share with me was one of your passions, I want you to pray to God and say, can you please help me discover how my strengths can help and serve my community, my family, and my business? Because I've done that in my own business, and I'll tell you, it works. In fact, it was so clear in building my website, it literally, like, my strengths just came off the table in the creation of that, okay? So I'm spending a lot of time in here, and the last one I want to make sure is we touch on is the strength of belief. Okay, success is more important than money or prestige. You are someone who is dependable, easy to trust, and you're going to find that the work that you will do in doTERRA, if you believe in the product and in the executive team and the people you work with, just really aligns with the way you want to live your life. How does me explaining your top 5 strengths in that way, Jamie, make you feel?
Oh man, I feel amazing. Like, I'm sitting here being like, oh, I can do anything. Like, I feel so awesome. Like, I don't feel bad that I don't have significance as my top 5, right? Because you just made me feel so pumped up. Like, that's amazing for anybody to feel that. And I felt like it was genuine because what you said was true about me.
It is. And this particular challenge, this particular strength assessment doesn't lie.
Mm-mm.
And what is hard for some people to digest is, of course, now, when I read in this book and I read everything about a woo, does every single thing in there apply to you?
No.
Maybe not. Okay. And so one of the things that I have people do is take their book with a highlighter pen, and I want them to highlight the sentences in those chapters that just resonate really high, that they want to start either living more or living again in their lives. And then I actually have them take a blank piece of paper and I have them write who they are. Okay. And you're like, oh my gosh, Kathy, we haven't even talked about enrolling someone or sampling someone, right? If you are wanting to find someone who is a business partner, who is willing to do the work, who is willing to take the action to create themselves as a leader to lead other people, then this piece is critical to the foundation of who they are. Because I have walked into a room and watched someone teach a basic class the exact way all of us have been taught. And she exudes confidence. She radiates. She has dressed, maybe not in the most expensive clothes, but very clean, presenting herself, and she's resonating in her highest strengths. And guess what happens to that room? People enroll because they want to be in her presence. They want what she's got. Whatever she's got, I want that, right? And that's what I, as your success coach, that's where I'm going to be putting my emphasis into helping train you. Something that has, and I sell this again in my coaching, has become very apparent to me and has been revealed, is that I need to teach you the pathway I took to get to the results that I created in my business. Meaning all these things have been critical in understanding who and what to attract the people I need to build with. Many of you are here today as a result of those baby steps that I have taken along the way to become a diamond leader. I plan on being a presidential diamond leader. I plan on leading other people to become presidential diamond leaders. And if we want something we've never had before, then we have to become something we've never been before. And every single thing we do along this pathway, okay, if it feeds our soul, is going to help us. We have to respect the timeline that God has given for our business, but we also have to dedicate and time block appropriate time in income producing activities in our business as well. So I did kind of, segue a little bit there, but those are some things that I really wanted to share on why I am doing this, okay? Some of these things might be very basic for you, but, and I'm spending a lot more time teaching you than I would be, actually doing this with someone. You want to make sure that you keep it short and sweet, that you don't lose their attention. But usually when you're talking about them, they can listen for hours. right? Wouldn't you say, Jamie?
Oh yeah.
Okay, when you're helping someone see how they glow and talking about the things they're passionate about, okay? So do you think I'm gonna talk to Jamie about running and restaurants and traveling and outdoors and religion, right? I'm gonna show her how those strengths, can you see here in this little box it says, see how this will help you share doTERRA authentically, okay? So if I had those strengths of the perfect storm and I like to win others over and I really like to present, what are the watering holes, okay? Let's jump on. We have to move on to 4. You'll see it, okay? So now that I've learned your passion, where do you spend your time? Okay, where do you see people? Where do you like to interact? So on, a work, let's say your kids are at school the whole week, or they're not, and they're with you because it could be different. Where do you like to hang out? Okay, where do you interact with people?
Are you asking me that right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I go to the YMCA. I am in my front yard just doing yard work and stuff, at least during the summer months. Mm-hmm. And I like to, like I said, go out to eat and stuff. So I do that. And just any sports, my kids are in sports. So we're in dance. So that's kind of where I spend my time. And then I do stuff for my church as well. So I'm with church people often.
So in order to build a business like this, you have to get out from behind your computer and from outside of your home. One of the hardest things that when I sit down to someone who wants to build this as a business is when they say, well, I don't really know anything and I'm kind of a hermit. And I kind of want to give them a big giant hug and say, I would love to teach you how to just, share these oils, but we can either help you shift your perspective and discover that you're really not a hermit, or if you are a hermit, this probably isn't your business, okay? So reason is number 4, you need to plan to share and invite. So we're gonna look at where you like to hang out, where you hang out normally, and then maybe even give you some additional suggestions on stretching yourself outside of your comfort zone to connect with some of those same people that you have similar passions. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so really quickly, when you're at the YMCA, when you're in your front yard, when you're talking with your neighbors, when you're at your sporting events, I want to teach you a few simple phrases that you can say to people that you're sitting next to in your camp chairs, on the sidelines, when it becomes authentic to share. Now, remember, have you ever sat next to someone at church and they open up a fresh pack of gum? And they take a piece of gum out and then they just simply hand it to you and say, would you like one? Okay, I want you to know that sharing oils can be just as simple. It doesn't have to be weird or strange, right? I'm going to teach you some key phrases that you might be able to say, and I want you to practice them at home until you're handing someone just a pack of gum. It's something that you value as well. So, are you open is a great phrase to learn here. Are you open to trying something natural for that? Okay, let's say at the soccer game, she's holding one of her younger kids and you see she's got some skin rash on her leg, okay? You could lean to the mom and say, hey, Jane, I noticed little Patty's leg there. Are you open to trying something natural for that? Okay, and then you could share 20 seconds of why you like oils or how you liked oils, okay? And then you could say, hey, if you'd like, we can set up a mini coaching session and I can maybe walk you through some of the things that might help her. That's what I do for a living. That's what I do for work. Okay. One of my very, very favorite things to say now is a mini coaching session. Have you kind of noticed that phrase a little bit more popular? I don't like to say one-on-one or whatever. I say, I actually can probably set up a mini coaching session if that's something that you'd like to learn a little bit more about. Because, like when you go to a church event and you run into a chiropractor and your back is hurt, you don't walk up to the chiropractor and say, hey, can we go find a table in one of those classrooms and maybe you can adjust my back, right? He's not going to say that to you. He's going to say, great, will you call my assistant on Monday and let's schedule some time for you to come in, okay? You have to treat your business the same way and you teach these people to teach that as well. Just be authentic, share the way you normally do, And then of course, this is an idea of how to share the business opportunity. Would you be open to learning more? So any questions in that area? Do you feel like those are some phrases that you would be comfortable saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I've done it a few times and it's really easy.
Okay. And I'm going to help and support you by giving you a few samples of some of the top oils at this point so that you can share those with others. And then that's something you're going to want to look towards getting the little bottles and making sure that you have enough oils to be able to share and give experiences wherever you go. Are you committed to doing that as well?
Absolutely.
Great. Okay. So right there is a great time to let them know that you are going to help and support them. You want to try to eliminate all roadblocks that, believe it or not, I've had roadblock, I don't have samples. Be a roadblock that pushed someone back for like a week and a half into her business because she felt like she didn't have product to share with other people. So eliminate the roadblocks for people so that they have an easier pathway to share. So 5 is the plan, present, and enroll. And if you look at how this is mapped out, you can see these are the bookends of this process. So this is where we help them create their unique business. This is where we get to invite them to enroll in the lifestyle of doTERRA. You get to map out what a day looks like in your business at this point, or show them what it will look like in the way that they want it to look like. Remember, we're not in the business of selling oils. We are in the business of enrolling people into a lifestyle of change. You want me to say that again? It's pretty powerful, right? We're not in the business of selling oils. We are in the business of enrolling people into a lifestyle change. So when you are sitting at the soccer game, stop, even though you know that Melaleuca or lavender is going to help her with her eczema on her leg. Try to imagine what her life would look like if she had all the stuff you had, right? If she knew how to take Zenderquin at night, or she had Digest-N to take, if she takes Serenity pills, right? And just say, what would it be worth it to help reach out to her and schedule some time to connect a little bit better? And guess what? She could say no, she could say yes. Awesome, right? Okay, so this is where you get to ask people or determine how they want to plan, present, and enroll. Okay, this is where you map out that they're either going to be hosting classes, okay, and you can talk about how you first began your business, and I'll explain to you how I do it. So this is how we get to discover how you best are going to present and enroll people, where that's going to be, and whether it's going to be in a class setting or a one-on-one. I'll tell you, I did a combination of both. I reached out to several of my people in my warm market who are my close family and friends, and gave them a free diffuser for inviting 15 to 20 of their friends within the first 6 weeks of my business. I'm going to recommend, if that's something you're comfortable with, that is the traditional way of building this as a business. Okay, we're looking at, going back to step number 1, we want to help you enroll 15 or more people within the first 30 days. So whether you enroll those people one-on-one, meaning you set up mini consults, you do coaching sessions over the computer like this, or you're meeting in a coffee shop, I'm going to teach you how to enroll someone within 60 seconds. Okay, just using simple approaches. How do you best connect with people? Okay, and if they're like, I don't know, okay, I'm going to pretend like Jamie just said, I don't know. Jamie, looking at your strengths, you do really well in a group setting. You do really well in commanding presence in a class. Are you comfortable holding 4 to 6 classes in the next 6 weeks?
That's good.
You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Right? So I told you from what I saw, but some people, even with those strengths, remember how people are kind of hit with their strengths? Think, oh, I connect with people better on one-on-one because they're afraid. So at this point, you want to have them give you their objections, okay? So I wanted to look at his notes here, what he was telling me here. as we help them learn what lights them up, we want to figure out at this point, okay, how you will present and include dates. Aha, right? So this is where we actually put on our calendar. I open up my calendar, I open up their calendars and say, I would like to, if she chooses one-on-ones, then I'm going to say, I'm going to accompany you on those first one-on-ones, whether it's over the computer or in person. I would love to meet your mom. I would love to meet your sister. Most people who start the business with one-on-ones, you know, and invite and enroll their best friends and sisters who they know, like, and love the best, and really know that these oils, especially when you're passionate about these oils, okay, these presentations should reflect your passions. If you're passionate about traveling, then are you going to want to make sure that when you present your business opportunity, and I'll teach you how to do that within the teaching format, you're going to want to share that. The reason why you're doing doTERRA is so that you can spend more time outdoors with your family, that you can travel and experience not only different places, but different restaurants, right? It's okay to share things you're passionate about in part of your why, your business. Because am I correct in assuming that, Jamie, that those 5 things are part of why you share doTERRA?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is really important. Suggested events: 1 weekday, 1 weekend, and 1 online in before the 15th of the month. Okay. So can you see how that just gave 3 classes? 1 in the week, 1 on the weekend, and 1 online. I like that better than, you know, the day, the night, of the day, unless you're traveling in to launch someone. If you're traveling in to launch someone, I'm sorry, it's day, night, day, right? Okay. So here is where the timeline comes in, and I apologize. It was supposed to be a 30-minute training, but it looks like we're on an hour at this time. So number 6 is where you get to write the dates for the steps in the launch timeline. If you've opened up your calendar and you've penciled in those dates, what that does is eliminates, I'm just calling it this, I don't know why I learned this growing up, the government worker mentality. Like, if you have 40 hours to complete a job, you're going to use all 40 hours. You've heard that before, right? So if we put their classes on the calendar and then we show them that they have to sample and invite people within the time frame before those classes, whether it's 3 weeks away or 2 weeks away, 1 week away, all of that time will be used, right? Okay. So now what happens is you're going to write the dates down here for their launch timeline. This is really cool. At this point, you can say, okay, we can cross off the 3-way business intro call. Okay, you've already watched those launch prep videos that I sent you. You've watched the build video. You've already enrolled in doTERRA. We've got your case. You could check these off. You did a wellness consult for yourself, and we're doing the launch strategy right now. So look at all those steps. You've already more than halfway there. Can you see how vital that part is? If you're like me, I like to make lists of things that I've already completed and check them off, okay? Let people kind of check that off, okay? And then now this is where you put calendar dates to these items. Can you see how launch date here, you can put the date that they're launching, in the first 48 hours, what they do, okay? Invite weeks 1 and 2. We're gonna show them how to properly invite, and we're gonna help present their first few classes. So don't worry about that. So we're gonna make sure that they feel confident enrolling those first 15 and then supporting those. And this is the pipes. You remember watching that video I sent you about the pipeline. These are the steps in helping you first begin your pipeline to get that first launch goal, which is elite of 3,000 in volume. Now, during this launch, it's really, really important that you and I remain accountable to each other and that we have an open texting communication. I always love to say within the first 30 days of you building a business, you have unlimited texting with me, meaning no texts are too many, nothing is too dumb. I might not always reply right away, but I will reply. Okay, where do I find this LRP, or how do I put someone in this way? You know, those are things that you'll figure out, but sometimes need a little bit of help and instruction. So we're going to have a 20-minute weekly strategy call. I like to do those on Monday morning, and I will send you the documents that I want you to fill out prior to that mentor call. And then each morning during your launch, I want you to just text me 1 or 2 phrases or 1 or 2 sentences on what you're hoping to create that day. It can be something like, I am going to connect with 3 people who I just feel inspired to share oils with today, or I'm going to follow up with 2 people I've sent samples out with. I want you to share something in this pipes area, the presenting, inviting, preparing, inviting, presenting, enrolling, support of what you're doing, because like we talked about that leadership agreement, right? These are the things that will help you create success, and I'm your success coach. So the morning vision text, here's some examples. Hi, I want my first 15 enrollments to come to me so easily and happily this month and to celebrate being elite. Can you see how this is an as if it has already happened, or an affirmation type statement that you are stating? You are activating the powers of the universe by declaring what it is that you want. Why not, right? Hi, I want my first 15 enrollments to come to me so easily and happily this month and to celebrate being elite. I would probably not use the word want. I would actually use a gratitude word here. I would say, I am grateful that my first 15 enrollments have come to me so easily. Okay. Awesome. Now we put timelines on this. Something I want you to remember is something we just talked about, is the law of attraction. You can be, do, and have anything you desire when you understand how to use your creative abilities. We have just now really gotten super clear on your talents and your strengths and where you want to hang out. And it's now up to you to discover, of those passions and strengths, where can I maybe extend myself a little bit further to meet more people, to share my opportunity more? Are there running events that I can visit? And if so, what, where, and how do I plan on connecting with people? Because I know with my strengths, the community strength and the woo, I'm comfortable being among strangers. So it sounds like I need to just get to where more people are, more strangers are, and put myself, whether you're probably someone, Jamie, that would do really well at events and expos, right? Do you feel comfortable in that kind of arena?
I thrive in it.
Okay, so based upon how much money you can invest in your business, I would highly suggest that at this point that you just get out, quantity versus quality. As soon as you, get out to more events, maybe you try to schedule 1 or 2 events where you're meeting strangers. Look at senior centers, look at libraries. Can you present at libraries? Make sure, at least because I know you have a little bit of a team locally, so I'm kind of coaching you a little bit differently, Jamie, but really make sure that you create safe places and events for your team to invite 1 or 2 people to. Be the conscious creator of that, and then you are going to activate the powers of the universe and bring that towards you. Now, remember something that I shared at the beginning of this. Please don't ever feel like you have to betray yourself to become something that you are not, okay? You get to decide what this next phase of your life with doTERRA looks like. I want you to get clearer. We're going to do some vision exercises and trainings in the next few months as you start moving into your business. But right now, your purpose is to discover who you are, right? Just very simply, do that homework I was telling you about, a blank sheet of your strengths, what makes you resonate. Read those in the morning so that you wake up connecting with you from the get-go. And so already you're resonating at a higher frequency. Present that to God. Pray over those strengths and then get to work, right? And that's really where it is when you prepare the soil, when you prepare when you feel strong and confident in your belief in both the product, the opportunity, and what you have to share, then you are going to create this unstoppable desire for not just yourself, but for people to want to join you and be a part of what you're offering, whether it's the oils or the business or being part of your tribe. So the law of attraction states it's always bringing you more of what you're offering. So be that conscious creator, be in your highest strength, and then ask the universe and God to provide those builders to you, and that you recognize them when they come, okay? So I hope that allows you guys a little bit of a different approach to launching someone than actually just taking them through the launch guide. As a leader, you can see that this, you know, the pipes here is done much more beautifully than the pipes on this paper. So you can see why I bring both, and plus I want them to start familiarizing themselves with the way this looks, how this looks, because this is what's available in their back office, and they can order that with their loyalty rewards program. This is super simple, it's printable, it's just something you can see. These are actually in my pinned post. The links for these are in my pinned post in the Dripping Oils Business Builder page. So this also is a great place to transition them to that 30, 60, 90-day goal. Okay, so from what we just did, we can say, hey, you know what? We're also going to write that into your 30, 60, 90-day goal. And then here's a great place to start putting those people down as for the success tracker of, you know, so after I've done that, I pretty much go through there and say, okay, everything we just talked about is right here. Okay, and it almost allows them to have just a little bit different visual, different experience to see that. Now, something that I feel like is one of the most important things on this entire success guide, okay, is this little image. Okay, I don't know if you've even noticed this on the launch guide before, but this right here is the difference between success and failure for someone starting a business. Okay, and I explain this over and over again when they start businesses with people, and over again I've seen when they don't do this action how it doesn't turn successful. Okay, so if you look at this during your launch month, you're going to invite 45 people, right? You're going to schedule 3 classes, 15 one-on-ones. So this is the law of the averages. See, so if we invite 45 people, okay, or in fact, I think in my very first month, I connected with over 100 people, maybe sampled 40 to 50 people. I'm not kidding you, okay? Just sampled those people. This rang true for my business. Okay, within those first month, I presented about 30 people, enrolled about 15, sounds about right, okay? And of those people, 3 became builders. No joke. That is exactly how my business started, okay? So if you think of this, if you want to cheat on these numbers, okay, and when I say cheat on these numbers, okay, I'm gonna do this. So if you're going to say, you know what, I'm only going to invite 30 people, okay? So you'll end up presenting to about 15. And how many people will enroll? Maybe 4 or 5. So how many people are gonna build with you? You'd be lucky if you got 1. Okay, and I'll tell you what happens. Yeah, I'm not very good at this business. It just doesn't work for me. Okay, you have to help people get set up for success. And the numbers are absolutely true, okay? So ask yourself, who needs natural solutions? This has 45 people. If you want to be successful, this has to be filled. This has to be, you have to hold their hand during this process. If they're not sampling those people, find out why. Hey, what if I came over and watched your kids while you went and delivered a few of those? Whoa, right? What is stopping them from delivering the samples? Okay, look along the baby steps along the process to help them have success. Hey, you know what? I can pay a babysitter for you too, if you don't want to, volunteer your own time. Why don't I pay a babysitter for you on Thursday night? And that's when you go and connect with all these people and deliver samples. Okay, and Wednesday I'm coming over with the kids and we're gonna make samples so that you have all the samples. So let's say today is Tuesday. Can you connect with everybody on that list, whether by phone call or text, and ask them if they're open to natural solutions and what they've been curious about trying for their health, or if there's an essential oil that they're curious about. And I'm gonna bring my case over tomorrow with all these empty bottles. We're gonna make them, and then Thursday night, can you see how sometimes people just need to know the next step? They're like, how am I gonna get 45 people sampled or at a class? I don't even have enough time to freaking get my nails done, right? Or do my hair. So if you partner with them and link arms and say, I'm here to support you, then they will do the same with their builders. So thank you guys for allowing me to share with you some of my insight with this. And as I get out and start building my additional teams, I'm using these same strategies with my new builders. So thanks, Jamie, for allowing me to put you on the spot. But now you've got a recording that you have of just yourself and the training on that. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. I will plan on being here live again next week on a new topic. All right, Ms.